We've been conditioned to believe that we are born how we're born, and that's it. That your genes are fixed, that your health is a pre written story that you don't get to edit. But what if that isn't the full truth? Today, we are diving into the MTHFR gene mutation. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you've tested and you know you have it. Maybe you've been walking around believing that this mutation is a life sentence that you can't change. But what you need to know is that your genes are not your destiny. They are more like a blueprint. And just like building a house, you can influence how that blueprint comes to life based on the environment you create. Welcome to the Follow Your Gut podcast, the show for the woman who's ready to stop outsourcing her and her family's health and start leading it. I'm your host, Juniper. Every week, I'll teach you how to understand your body and your child's symptoms through the lens of the gut so you can take clear, confident steps towards real healing. This isn't about chasing symptoms or following trendy protocols. This is about foundational healing, where we get to the root of it all, your gut. I am so happy you're here. Let's dive in. When you first hear MTHFR mutation, it sounds intense. It sounds unchangeable. I've had so many women message me in tears after finding out that they or their child have this gene mutation, convinced that something is wrong with them, that they're broken. But I want you to hear this with your whole heart. You are not broken. Your child is not broken. The MTHFR mutation is not a curse. It's not a life sentence. It's an invitation. And here's something that might surprise you. It's actually really common. Studies show that up to 60% of the population has some form of this mutation. So, before we dive into everything you need to know about this mutation, I want to slow down for just a second. If you are someone who's been suspecting this mutation, or maybe you're listening right now wondering if you or your child could possibly have this, let's talk about some of the early cues. Maybe your baby was born with a strawberry birthmark. Maybe their umbilical cord took longer than expected to fall off. Maybe you've noticed your child has those tiny red dots under the skin called petechia, or struggles with sensory sensitivities, or reactions to chemicals, perfumes, or even certain foods. Maybe you've dealt with chronic fatigue, skin rashes, eczema, headaches, mood swings, anxiety, and no one's ever been able to help explain why. These are all signs that your body's detox and methylation pathways might need extra support, that your environment, the internal one and the external one, could be impacting how your genes are showing up for you. So let's start with the basics. What exactly is MTHFR? It stands for methylene tetrahydrofolate reductase, which I know sounds complicated, but let me break it down simply. This gene plays a huge role in a process called methylation. Think of methylation like your body's recycling and detox system. It helps clear toxins. It supports brain function. It allows your body to process B vitamins like folate. It even helps with energy, mood, and immune health. But when you have a mutation in this gene, your methylation process slows down. Imagine your body trying to clean up, but the recycling trucks aren't running on schedule. Things pile up, toxins get stuck, inflammation builds, and your body struggles to detox efficiently. And that's when symptoms start showing up. You might see things like chronic skin rashes, eczema, sensory struggles, anxiety, depression, fatigue, headaches, chemical sensitivity, infertility, even developmental delays in children. A huge red flag is when someone reacts poorly to synthetic folic acid. You find this synthetic folic acid in so many everyday foods. It's added to fortified breads, cereals, pastas, processed snacks, and unfortunately, most prenatal vitamins. For someone with the MTHFR mutation, synthetic folic acid can actually build up in the body because they can't convert it into the usable form of folate that their body needs. Instead of supporting the body, it clogs the system. It adds to the body's toxic load and exacerbates symptoms. But this is where I need you to really lean in. Just because your body has a harder time with detox or folate conversion or methylation does not mean you are powerless. You can absolutely support your body so that this gene functions in your favor. And it starts with your gut. The health of your microbiome directly impacts how your genes express themselves. This is the part most people never hear about. We've been taught to believe that genes are this set in stone, unchangeable thing. But your gut, your internal environment, your stress levels, your nutrition, these all influence whether a gene like MTHFR expresses as a problem or not. When your gut is overwhelmed with bad bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, or parasites, your body stays stuck in survival mode. Detox slows down even more. Inflammation builds, and the challenges of having this mutation feel 10 times heavier. But when you rebalance your gut, when you clear out the overgrowths, you calm the inflammation and nourish your microbiome, your entire system starts to work differently. You give your body space to detox. You help those methylation pathways function better. You literally change how your genes show up in your day to day life. And I've seen this play out over and over again. In my own family, in the thousands of families I've supported, parents come to me terrified that their child's MTHFR mutation means they'll never thrive. Women come to me in tears after struggling with anxiety, skin issues, infertility, feeling like their body is failing them. And then they start rebalancing their gut. They start shifting the internal environment, and suddenly everything changes. Their body detoxes more efficiently, their mind feels clear, their skin starts to heal, their energy comes back, their hormones stabilize, their children begin to regulate emotionally, their skin calms, their sensitivities ease, and their development starts to catch up in ways that they were told weren't possible. This is the part no one teaches us. You inherit your genes, yes, but you also inherit your environment. You inherit your microbiome, and you inherit the belief that you are stuck the way you were born. But that belief is wrong. Your genes are not your destiny, they are your blueprint. You get to influence how they function by the environment you create inside your body. And that's what rebalancing your gut is all about. Most people with the MTHFR mutation focus only on what to avoid. Avoid synthetic folic acid, avoid certain toxins, avoid certain medications. And yes, those things really matter. But the real transformation happens when you go deeper, when you clear the bad overgrowths out of your gut, when you calm the inflammation, when you support your body with the right forms of bioavailable folate, nourish your nervous system, and give your detox pathways the space they've been asking for. This is how you take your power back. I don't want you to walk away from this episode afraid of your genes. I want you to walk away knowing that you have so much more control than you've been taught to believe, because your genes are only one part of your story. Your environment, your choices, your courage to create healing, that's the part you get to write. So if you or your child have been told that you have the MTHFR mutation, or maybe you're seeing symptoms and you suspect it, I want you to know healing is possible. You and your child can thrive. I know how overwhelming it can all feel at the beginning. You hear the words like gene mutation and your mind starts racing, wondering if you failed as a mother, wondering if your child will be okay, wondering if healing is possible. But right now, you have permission to quiet that internal conversation. Healing is absolutely possible, and it starts with understanding that your gut health and your internal environment have a direct impact on how your genes function. This is the power of independent healing. It's realizing that you are not at the mercy of your diagnoses, your test results, your family's history. You get to lead your health. You get to change the story. That's exactly what I've seen happen over and over again. Parents who once felt defeated are watching their children thrive. Women who believed their anxiety, their infertility, their skin issues were lifelong battles are now experiencing vibrant health simply by healing their gut and nourishing their body the way that it was designed to be supported. You can do the same. Your genes are your blueprint. You are the builder. And the most powerful tool you have in shaping that blueprint is your microbiome. So if you've been feeling overwhelmed by this mutation, by the conversation of MTHFR, I hope this episode reminds you that you have choices. You have power. You are capable of creating healing. Now, let's talk about how to actually support your body and your child's body with this mutation, what it means to rebalance your gut. Rebalancing isn't just about avoiding certain foods or cutting things out. It's about creating an environment inside your body where healing becomes possible. It means clearing out the bad bacteria, the yeast, mold, fungus, and parasites that are keeping your body stuck in survival mode. It means calming inflammation, replenishing your beneficial bacteria, nourishing your nervous system, and supporting your body's natural detox pathways so those methylation processes can finally function the way they need to. If you are supporting your child, the ultimate option of the Children's Gut Rebalance Kit is the most beautiful place to start. It's gentle, very effective, and designed to help their body clear the bad overgrowths while restoring balance without overwhelming their system. If your child is under 4 months and you are breastfeeding, the best thing you can do is focus on rebalancing your own body with the Woman's Gut Rebalance Kit. The supplements pass through your milk and will gently begin supporting your baby's microbiome alongside your own healing. And if you are listening for yourself, whether you know you have the MTHFR mutation or you're simply experiencing the symptoms we talked about earlier in the episode, the ultimate option of the Woman's Gut Rebalance Kit is designed to walk you through exactly how to create this foundation of healing. This isn't about quick fixes or masking symptoms. It's about deeply supporting your body so your genes function the way they were designed to, so that you can finally experience the energy, the clarity, the emotional regulation, and the vibrant health your body is so capable of. Your biggest takeaway today is that when you heal your microbiome, you shift how your body functions on a cellular level. You change the way your genes express themselves. You give your body permission to heal. Your child is not broken. You are not broken. Your child is not destined for a lifetime of struggle just because of a gene mutation. You are not destined to stay stuck, anxious, inflamed, exhausted, and overwhelmed because of your genetics. You have the power to change the environment those genes operate in. You've got this. You be the most powerful leader of your health. No one else is going to do it for you. I have the Rebalance Kits linked in the show notes for you. Before we wrap up, I love closing out the podcast with answers to your questions and your transformations. This is my favorite way to stay connected and support you, no matter where you are in your healing journey. If you want to submit a question, I open up a question box every month in my Instagram stories and inside our private community, the Rebalancing Collective. Watch for those, send your questions, and make sure you are subscribed to the podcast so you are sure to hear the answer. Now, let's get into it. A transformation, a question from someone who is never rebalanced, and a question from someone currently rebalancing. I want to start with the most incredible reminder of why we do this work. A Mama in the Rebalancing Collective. This is our private community for women and mamas who are rebalancing themselves or their children. She shared that her 11-month-old is on day 116 of the rebalance and still passing liver flukes. She said, saying this to motivate you to keep going. It takes time and lots of patience, but I promise it's worth it. Don't give up. She attached a before and now picture that I will have for you in the show notes because you have to see this. The photos, they speak for themselves. You have to see this child's transformation. And I want to echo her words. Healing deep-rooted imbalances doesn't happen overnight. But when you stay the course, the transformation happens. This is the real deal foundational healing we are all here for. Okay, the first question. Can toe walking in toddlers be linked to the gut? Many parents have been so surprised to see toe walking completely resolve while rebalancing the gut. When the nervous system calms, motor patterns often shift. Supporting the gut can absolutely help. Question 2. Is allergy testing necessary? When would you test? Can food allergies really resolve? This is such an important question, and I want to take just a moment on this one to really help you connect the dots because this one really goes against everything we have ever been taught. The first thing I want to say is testing isn't always wrong, but it's often premature, and therefore results are unreliable. So many allergy tests show everything lighting up, not because the body is truly allergic to all of those foods, but because the gut is out of balance, which causes a lot of inflammation, which puts the immune system on high alert, and you or your child's body reacts to everything. When the gut lining is compromised, this is what is often referred to as leaky gut. Undigested food particles slip through into the bloodstream. The immune system sees those particles as invaders and reacts. This triggers inflammation, skin flares, digestive symptoms, even behavioral issues. And then what happens? You get allergy testing done, and suddenly eggs, dairy, gluten, nuts, strawberries, oats, you name it, all come back flagged. But again, what's actually happening here is that most of those food reactions aren't rooted in the food itself. They're rooted in an overwhelmed, imbalanced gut. So I always tell families, start with rebalancing. Heal the gut. Eliminate the overgrowths of bad bacteria, yeast, mold, fungus, parasites, and even some viruses while restoring the good bacteria. When you do this, you reduce inflammation, strengthen the gut lining, and the body stops reacting to so many foods it once couldn't tolerate. We see this again and again in families rebalancing. Food sensitivities fading, eczema clearing, bellies softening, and children and even adults eating foods they couldn't touch before. And I say food sensitivities fading because, again, these aren't true allergies, right? They are showing up on an allergy test, but this is because the body is so inflamed. There are, of course, rare cases of true life-threatening genetic allergies that do require indefinite avoidance. But for the vast majority of families, testing is more helpful after rebalancing, when you are working from a healed foundation and can clearly see what's left. So yes, many food reactions resolve. Your child's body, your body is designed to thrive. You are not broken. Your body is just overwhelmed. Rebalancing gives your body the support that it's been asking for. If you are thinking, I want this for myself, I want this for my child, for my family, the ultimate option of the Gut Rebalance Kit and the full process that I guide you through in the accompanying course are waiting for you. You and your child can thrive. Everything you need to learn more is linked for you in the show notes. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend or a family member who's ready to lead her family's healing. Everything mentioned in this episode is linked down below for you in the show notes. Be sure to subscribe to the Nourish newsletter, also linked down below, so you never miss an episode. I will email you the latest episode every Tuesday morning. Everything shared on this show is for educational purposes only, not intended as medical advice. Until next time, trust your body and follow your gut.